In 1993, I designed the sets, 12 sets, for an opera called Pelléas and Mélisande, a Debussy opera that's not especially popular. It's a beautiful opera. And they got me to design the sets, hometown boy, to help sort of pump up the admissions. And it was quite a challenge to work with the opera. And I did all the sets out of glass, miniature sets. And then we translated those glass sets into other materials, mostly different types of plastics that were transparent. You could light from behind, and ultimately had a very glass-like feeling.
I find that this music is translucent, and I think you've got to see the light through it all the time in Debussy. You can't ever get murky, and you never get, and that's what glass does, and I think that's the thing that I felt was why it seemed right.
The way I proceeded to work with the opera was simply to think about the sets, to think about the story, to go out and draw on the deck and to see what happened. And then as I would draw, we would go and make some of them in the hot shop and make the maquettes, the models. And so it was making drawings, making glass models, making more drawings, glass models. So we line up even though there are 15 scenes, there's really only about 12. So we lined up a dozen of them and started putting them in and working with my team, starting to figure out which ones seemed to make sense to me. And then bringing Spate and Neil Peter and Bob over, and then trying to talk them into the ones that I wanted to do, winning in some cases and losing in others.
I think probably the most difficult thing for a fine artist who works essentially alone, even though Chihuly has a large staff of people, and the impulse is a solitary one for an artist, and I think that making him not afraid to be part of a team is the most interesting aspect of it. To say, look, don't clutch. We're here to support you. Give us the idea and we'll make it happen for you. And I think we've succeeded in that.
Pelléas is falling in love with Mélisande, of course. We're not really sure whether Mélisande is falling in love with him. In fact, we're never really sure. Yeah. Let's make that Mélisande's perch, because Pelléas is reaching up towards her, hoping to get a shot at it. And tonight, this hair of Mélisande comes down and completely takes over. So Mélisande be in her balcony, and Pelléas tries to reach up, and down comes the hair. And it's so unbelievable, this hair, that he's finished after that. We call the scene The Tower. Yeah. No, it's very nice like that. There can be some that's, if you want, they don't have to all be long. Can be some a little shorter.
Our commitment to the project, that when the curtain goes up on each one of these pieces, that the audience will not be able to discern what the technique that's been used and how it's been built and what it's made of. The assumption by the audience needs to be that it's glass.
The glass, of course, influenced a great deal the opera sets, but interestingly enough, the opera sets also influenced my glass. In particular, I did these big trees that were 3 and 4 feet in diameter for Act 1, Scene 1 of the opera, and they were about 35 feet high. And I found this French guy in California who manipulated this sort of Mylar thin plastic in such a way and burned it and iridized it to make this incredible surface that looked, I don't know what it looks like. I mean, it looks like glass, it looks like plastic, it looks like something organic. And I was so intrigued by these trees that I started a series called Pilchuck Stumps. And I used the word Pilchuck because there were a lot of stumps at Pilchuck. Perhaps it should have been called the Pelléas and Mélisande stumps. And we actually blew the stumps in wood. in order to get the feeling of stumps. And we blew them in bark, and we blew them in molds, and clay molds, wood molds, bark molds. We tried a lot of different things. I worked a lot with Martin Blank, a gaffer that I first met when he was about 18 years old, and he was a student at the Rhode Island School of Design, and Martin and I have been working together ever since.
Break down the bottom.
Dave up there, it looks like Excalibur. Just right. Down right. Okay, Tony.
Start slow, a little hard. Good hold. Get a really good hold.
Open it a bit, yeah, and then maybe hold it down.
Okay. Dave, on this heat, have it swell almost open, like a basket, 6 inches. You call Robbie. Nice heat, James. Yeah. Good. Nice, Jimmy. Nice, Jim. Level.
We did a couple like that before.
Anyway, Martin blew them, did a great job, but I only did 10 or 20 of them. I don't think I ever really showed them.
Last flash coming up.
Once in a while I think about going back to do them again. When 21,000 people get to look at this stage, you know, I'm hoping that they're going to say, you know, wow, that's really something. And that's what I get my kicks from in the end, is another way to have, you know, what I do reach out to a lot of people. And as you know, I'm very interested in having my work reach all kinds of people.